All right, guys, welcome back to the Old Glory Red Report, supporter channel for the supporters, by the supporters. Today we are coming out with you with another State of the Republic live from Fort Rock. Thanks for joining us. We have quite a bit to talk about after an interesting matchup in Tacoma. We'll get to that right after this title screen right now. All right, guys, so thanks for joining us today. We do have some special guests. We got Jane and John going on the ends over here, Mark Anthony in the middle, and I'm Casey as always. Thanks for joining us again here at Fort Rock. Quite an interesting game up there in Tacoma, huh? Our Seattle Junior, as I'm going to call it from now on. Let's just hop over with Jane. What'd you think about all those players that came down?
Well, 10 players from the MLS side. It was quite a different side than I expected to see.
Absolutely.
Last-minute additions.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me personally, I don't really think it's the best look for the league, if I'm being completely honest. And I don't say that just because we lost the game. But it is, Tacoma's rolling out, what was it, 6 or 7, basically.
They had 10
players.
10.
They had 10 on the roster, right?
But 7, I think it was 6 or 7 that actually
only one
came
Tacoma
down.
player started.
One Tacoma, regardless, completely different team than the team that they had featured in their first 3 games. That's kind of a bad look just because it's not the same team that they're going to be rolling out week to week. So if they're playing other teams, you might get lucky that day and you're playing the weak version of them, right?
Well, I can agree with that. I don't care about MLS coming down. We know we're Division II. USL's Division II. Let's not joke ourselves on believing we're in some top division league. That's why we have 2 teams in this league. They are feeder clubs. But to bring them down the day before a match doesn't give the coach any time to come ready for that. And I heard an argument on the USL show is that coaches should be prepared for this. But how do you prepare for 7 players coming down? You just can't prepare for that.
No, and I also agree that, like what Mark said, it's not a good look for the league. We're trying, the USL is trying to establish itself as a strong, independent second division. And by and large, I think the USL has done a fantastic job at, showing they've got what it takes to build a successful and strong league. But allowing a team to just send all its players down, it dilutes the team. It makes signings to the league pointless, and it shows a lack of respect for the people who are playing, a lack of respect for the coaches, a lack of respect for the teams. I mean, if we're treating it that way. I would say put a limit of maybe 3 players max.
Yeah, to me, it's a different thing to have players on loan like Republic has had in the past from different clubs, and then to have that many come the day of. It's a totally different feel.
Yeah, I would like to see him at least have some kind of stipulation to these loans. Like, you have to say the loan 72 hours before the player's eligible to play, or he can't play in MLS and USL within a 72-hour period. He has to come down for at least 2 weeks where he's not eligible for an MLS game if he drops down. So there's less of this at the last minute changing lineups. You can still use your feeder club, but you're not making other clubs inconvenienced like Republic was, or, this isn't the first time this happened. It will not be the last time this happens in the USL.
Well, and it's not only about the Republic, it's also about the players who Tacoma signed. Tacoma signed players with the intention of playing them. They built their own team. And this basically sweeps that under the rug and shows a complete lack of respect for that whole aspect.
Let's not even get into how that ruins the whole rebranding over there at Tacoma. You can't rebrand and then 4 games later become Seattle Junior again all of a sudden. It's just weird to me.
Yeah, I think that, like a stipulation, like you said, because the way that it is right now is that a player can literally be on the Sounders bench in the MLS, not play, and then, you can play Monday for our 2 team. And they do that, and it's fine for playing time, and I get that argument and things like that. But if there was a stipulation, when you say, the argument was, well, other opposing teams need to be ready for it. But when you watch a team for 3 games on film, and you're not playing that team on Monday or Sunday, or whatever day it is, you're playing 10 new guys, 7, 8 new guys.
We also lost our advantage because Tacoma had to play on Friday and then Monday. If we had to play on Friday and Monday, we don't have a whole nother 7, 8 players we can magically make appear and come into our team. So I think that's also a little defeating for teams that don't have that ability. And like you said, I think it's a bad look for the league for them to be able to make that change. Everyone else has to deal with these issues in the league except for these teams, and that's a little messed up in my opinion.
Last point I want to make on that is Tacoma is going on, I think, a 4 or 5 game road trip. So I understand why Sounders would try and get those players some playing time because of the location. They don't have to send one of their guys on a plane to El Paso or wherever
Absolutely.
they're playing on the road for the next couple weeks. So yeah, some of those guys that haven't gotten the early season game time in the MLS, go down, like Bruin, for example, go down, get 90 minutes, get 80 minutes, whatever it is, get some actual game time, and then they'll go back on the bench probably for a few weeks on their MLS team.
Final thought on this subject, Jane?
Yeah, I mean, bottom line is I think we did hold our own against an MLS side, basically. So, and they are within the rules, the current rules, but I do think there's maybe an argument to adjust the rules a little bit so that this doesn't happen again.
John, final thoughts on this one?
Yeah, no, and I think it's a game that, we should have potentially won, again, like what Jane said, against the MLS side, but, I think I've already said my piece. I'm unhappy with the whole situation, how it looks, and how it treats the league and the teams.
Yeah, 100%. Look, this happens in the USL. We've talked about it. It's happened in the past. It'll keep happening until USL changes it. And honestly, we gave an MLS, almost a full MLS side, a good game. Now, these guys aren't the top MLS players ever, but it was a good run out for our guys. It's a good challenge. It does bring the level of play up. It was a very entertaining game for us to watch. So we'll give them that. Can't gripe on it too much. Let's go ahead and move on to our starting 11. Do you think the coach makes the changes if he knows the difference, or do you think Villarreal and Alamin were coming on regardless? John, let's start, or Mark, let's start with you.
I know I've been growing my beard.
Yeah.
It's not as glorious.
It's like twins here. I don't know.
I sort of don't fit in with you guys.
You gotta
Give it some time.
Well, when he said John at first, I thought it was misspoken with Jane, and then you got me all mixed up. But anyways,
I
that's our
digress.
starting 11. I think that, there's going to be a lineup rotation. We'd already played a few games. A couple players got in the lineup that hadn't seen any game time, especially a guy like Alamon.
Yeah.
So I don't think that the changes were necessary to the opponent. I just think they were the natural, hey, every 3 or 4 games, you're going to get a start. Every 3 or 4 games, you're going to get a rest, and vice versa. And we have a couple guys, like Bijev, kind of nicked up with an injury. You don't want to rush that back. You do want him to play. You don't want him playing a full 90. So I think we kind of figured either he would start and sub off or come on as a sub. So I just think it's the normal thing that you go through in the beginning of a season, rather than changes because somebody's underperforming or going with a different strategy or tactics.
So you think it's just rotation?
Absolutely.
Jane, what do you think on this?
I think maybe Coach chose the starting lineup based on expecting a little bit lighter
That's what I
Tacoma
think as well,
side.
yeah.
We've got a match on Saturday, so maybe some guys need a little bit of rest for Saturday.
Sure.
But who knows? That's my guess.
We'll jump over to John.
Well, and I think also I kind of feel like he switched up his tactics pretty much every match. I think he's trying to see what the best fit for the guys is while they, it's one thing to play a tactic in training. It's another thing to play it in a game that matters. I think we're just still trying to experiment and see what works best for us. Because I don't, if I'm remembering correctly, I don't remember, I know Owasa held back a lot last season, but tactics seemed a lot different back then. We've switched it up. I know we've done like a 4-4-3 almost. Yeah. Now it seems like we've done like a 4-4-1-1.
Yeah, we've been in the 4-2-3, 4-2-3-1, 4-4-1-1, 4-4-2.
Yeah, so
he's moved it around.
So I also think he's just trying to find the rhythm, find what works best within his system, especially with the strengths of the players.
Yeah, I'm with Jane. I think these were tactical changes made for a Tacoma side that the coach thought wasn't going to be a challenge. I think he plays a 4-4-1-1, tries that new system. Villarreal making it back into the lineup, playing just a few minutes before that. Alamon really not getting any minutes this season coming in. Those scream to me, hey, look, this isn't going to be a tough game. Let's get these guys some minutes. So I think that if he knew about this, the changes to Seattle Junior coming down, it wouldn't have been that lineup. Maybe I think he would have stuck with the 4-2-3-1, 4-4-1 one we saw before with Skundrich in there at the start, Sam Warner in there as well, and et cetera. So I think this was a change that was made due to the Tacoma team, and unfortunately it just backfired on us with all the changes.
You also have to remember too, we were on the road, and then after that we have a home game coming up. And if you're coaching, you're not just thinking about the next game. You're thinking about the game after that, the game after that. And you're thinking, if you're Simon Elliott and you're thinking, you know what, I want to give Alamon his first start. I want to see what Villarreal can do. I want to see, different players play.
Tacoma's the team to do it against.
Not only that, but you do it on the road.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
home games are where you need your 3 points.
Yeah.
Hey, if we would have played a weak Tacoma team, like their normal team, and we got a point, is that disappointing? Yeah, but it's a road game. You get your 3 points at home. If you win games on the road, great. You just want to get results on the road regardless. So if you're thinking as the coach, hey, I want to save Werner, I want to save Bijev for our home match on Saturday because that's where we have the crowd behind us. That's our best chance of getting 3 points and going for it.
Well, 100%, and we do have that capability of rotation this season. We haven't, maybe in the past couple seasons, had that much strength off the bench, but Alaman coming off the bench is great. Warner coming off the bench like he could do is great. We have a depth in the roster that we haven't seen over the last few years. So I'm open to the rotation. I just think maybe Villarreal and Alaman kind of backfired on this certain game. I think maybe having the regular starters in would have gave us a little edge, but like we talked about, we missed key chances in this game. So no matter who's in, if you miss those key chances, you don't get the 3 points, you don't get the win. So that's ultimately what it comes down to. Did we all like the starting lineup? Was there any?
I missed Warner.
Yeah.
I think Warner creates a lot of good chances. He's very aware of where he is on the pitch, and takes shots. He had an assist to Harris, I think a couple games ago, and then again, the 4-1, a goal.
He got a penalty. In the big
he
win
earned a
against
penalty
on the road.
Yeah, so I just
penalty.
really like him in the lineup. I think he just creates some exciting chances for the team.
Yeah. I mean, look, Werner, Harris, and Awasa, I think they've all been the reasons for all the goals, right? Has anybody? I mean, other players have contributed, of course, but I feel like it's
those are. I agree. Those are pretty much our top 3 guys right now.
Tainter's had a couple dinks over the top.
Well, Tainter had the assist.
Yeah,
the other
Tainter
day.
had a good assist.
Sure, other players have contributed, but those have been the
They're
three.
They're the main 3.
Yes. So, we were missing Werner for sure. I think he's been our wide presence this season, and he's had to keep opposing defenders honest. And it's not when he's in the game, they can't just tighten in on Awasa and not really put too much effort or attention to the wings.
And I think we're also missing Bijev a little bit.
Yeah.
I know we were playing against MLS quality players, but Bijev is really good at moving the ball. He's really good at getting it to where it needs to go. He's also really good on the solo runs. And once he got subbed in against the game, that's when more of our chances were created. That's when we saw obviously the handball in the box, but you had more shots on target, you had more opportunities, and yes, other guys contributed to that, but you saw that start picking up once he got subbed in. There was a noticeable increase in quality of play.
Yeah, I think when he comes on, he changes the game. Him, Iwasa, those are guys that are definitely like the leaders going forward in our team. And when either one of those guys are off the field, even Sam Warner now, like you talked about, has became one of those guys that really pushes us forward. So when those guys are not on the field, it's definitely missed. I feel that. Let's go ahead and move on to some of the key plays of this game. It was a very entertaining game, like I said. Maybe didn't go the way we wanted it to, but goals, action, cards, all day. So the first thing I really want to talk about more than anything was that Leyva challenge against Sari.
Yes.
I think that's a red card all day. Am I wrong? Does anyone disagree? Where are we at on this?
Studs to the groin, that's a red.
It studs up all day, right to the midsection. I mean, it's got to be a red card. He's got to get gone. And he had a bad challenge before that, too.
And that makes the game a totally different game.
Yeah.
It's a tough call. It's one of those that if the referee doesn't see it right the first time,
100%.
He's not going to give a red card.
Well, and that's probably what happens here.
Yeah, it's just one of those challenges. Like, there are some challenges where the referee, doesn't matter his angle, it's a red. Like, you can see when somebody comes high, or like, you can be
This is
behind.
pretty high.
Well, and
was a
that's
high
what I'm saying.
boot.
Your foot doesn't get up to somebody's groin by a normal challenge.
What I'm simply saying,
Especially studs up.
what I'm simply saying and what I'm getting to is, hey, if it was MLS and we had VAR,
100%.
I think he's sent off, no doubt about it. But this is USL. We've had these challenges go in our favor. We've had them go out of our favor. So I wouldn't say it's the most egregious red card, but I could definitely see the argument for it.
Yeah, and I mean, he gets away with the yellow card probably. And like you said, it probably changes the game if he goes off, but that's still no excuse
minute was that again?
for anything. That was early on. I think
that was like the
15, 20.
Yeah,
it was first half.
Yeah,
About
it was
halfway
first half.
through, maybe, or a
Yeah,
little
somewhere
bit
in there.
earlier.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
remember
early.
exactly.
I mean, if you're talking about doing 70 minutes a man down, that definitely changes.
Yeah.
So the next big moment for us was Bonomo's goal that was considered offside. Now I've looked back at it; it's probably offsides.
Yeah, I agree.
It looks
offside in real time.
We don't have a great camera view from USL's perspective there, but
We need the VAR, man.
it definitely looks offsides to me. So we're not going to probably complain too much on that one. The next big event was Wingo's goal there on the 50th minute. It was pretty much a walk into the net. Bruin set that one up, an MLS connection, if you would, there to be on the first goal. Any thoughts on that one?
Wingo had been looking dangerous for them in the first half. I felt like he was the one player on their team that noticeably stood out in terms of giving our back line something to think about. So it wasn't a surprise that he was on the score sheet in the second half.
And this was the give and go, right? I think he just had too much room.
Ringo gave it to Bruin, back to Ringo.
Yeah, our defenders just kind of gave him a bit too much room, and there he went.
Too much space, and they know what to do with it.
Well, now, it was that Villarreal element on that, playing on that left side, I believe it was, in our defense that kept going through. Both goals actually went through that side. So.
Yeah. I honestly hate to say it. I mean, up to that point, they'd been the more dangerous team.
Yeah.
They had had the more chances, and I'm grateful that we lasted that long. But I mean, I think obviously they've got a lot of quality, MLS level quality, and I'd say that's probably a goal that was deserved.
Yeah, definitely. They worked that goal very well.
Yeah, but and I hate to say that, but I think it's true.
See, I felt in the first half that SAC had better chances.
We did. I think we did too. I think in the first half, we had the better overall chances. We had some snatch and grab kind of stuff where maybe we should have took a little more time on the ball, did a little bit better to put it on frame than we did. The disallowed goal, yeah. So I think the first half did favor us. The 78th minute goal, though, that one was a little hard to take. Bruin puts it in from I'm going to say a very non-dangerous angle. This should have been covered. He's pretty much far out right. It gets past Cohen on fingertips. Cohen should have saved this one.
That was a rare Josh Cohen oops, I think. He barely missed it, but...
It's time to get rid of him.
Oh, no!
The man is a human, apparently, after all.
And now Elliot, too, because Elliot, signed him.
You get one. One mistake, Josh, if you're listening. No, I'm just kidding.
Last chance, Josh
Cohen. Come on, guys. Like, how many points did he save last year? He would probably be the first one to tell you that he should have been able to get in front of that ball.
Sure.
He's going to be down on himself on that one.
Exactly. But it happens. And you know what? Unfortunately for goalies, when they make a mistake, everyone remembers it.
Absolutely.
You go forward and you trip over the ball or you get picked by the defender, but you're over on the other side of the field, no one remembers it, right?
Next week,
well, unless you want
Callum Hudson-Odoi, his miss, will not be remembered next week, even though he fell face first on the ground.
That was pretty good. That's pretty good.
All right, so the second goal maybe not earned as much, but they definitely were the better team going into the second half. They had the more chances. They had a little bit more clean-cut play. The passing was a little bit better, so they earned it. I'm not going to complain too much. They got the second goal. 88th minute, we do get one back on a penalty. It is a handball from, I believe, Bijev kicks it, and it gets the handball off of somebody. Iwasa steps up, does bring us one back. We probably should have already had a couple before this, but at least we get one back. Iwasa cool on penalty spots.
Oh my
Are we feeling
gosh.
a little calmer with penalties this season than last season?
What is he, 3 for 3?
Yeah, he's 3 for 3. And he just looking
so
at him, he just seems
casual.
so,
You know what,
nonchalant.
guys? I think we need to just stop talking about that right now.
I know.
because-
Knock on all the wood.
Let's just say
He scored a goal.
And do more of that,
Yeah, absolutely.
Mr. Indomitable. That's my name for him.
And our loss has got that swagger to him right now. Last season he had it. He started this season with that same swagger. He's leading the team in goals. He's leading the team in pretty much every aspect of the game.
He's tied for first right now in the Golden Boot race with 5 goals. 5 goals.
Mm-hmm.
5 goals through 4 games, not bad.
So
maybe bump it up just slightly.
Yeah. More hat tricks. Cameron. Hey, more hat tricks.
Saturday's a chance for a hat trick.
So we got a little consolation prize there with the goal back. Like I said, we probably should have had a couple more before that. We should have at least been level. As you guys pointed out earlier, it was Skundrich that pretty much wandoed that one right in front of the goal. That's unfortunate. That definitely would have been the equalizer to gain us 1 point. It happens to everybody, though, I guess.
The little things, man. Look, Cohen probably should have saved it. Skundrich probably should have scored. We could have easily won this game.
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
Even against a mostly MLS side.
Yeah. All but one.
I'm a little down on Skundrich right now. Last match against OKC, an error led to their goal. This match, he had a couple good chances. One where the sitter that he missed, and then the other where he missed a header that should have been in as well. So I think he needs to tighten it up a little bit.
I will say, though, he's putting himself in great positions to score, and that will lead to goals.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those statistics, man. It's regression. Like, he's going to be in these spots, and they're going to go in eventually. We'll probably see him go on a run where he scores a goal in 2 or 3 games consecutively because he makes great runs, and he gets free. It's only a matter of time.
And he's fast.
Yeah, he's up and down the field. When you watch him play, yes, he will at times maybe make some mistakes. Remember, he's a very young player. But still, he seems to find himself free from defenders because his endurance. I mean, first half, second half, he's a super sub. As you saw in that game, he comes in, and it was like, where was his defender? I mean, yes, we're focused on him missing, but where was anyone? I mean, you know, he puts himself in great positions. I think that will only lead to good things as he builds his confidence and gets more playing time.
Yeah. Okay, so that was all the real big moments. We did have a few other chances. Seattle had a few other chances, but those are the moments that really made the game. Unfortunately, it was a 2-0 or 2-1 loss for us. 3 points dropped on the road. Not the best performance. So let's get everyone's final thoughts from the takeaway from Sunday's.
Monday. Just keep it. Just keep it. Don't cut this one.
Monday's match versus Tacoma or Seattle Junior. We'll start with John. We'll work our way down the board. God.
I was texting the guys all throughout the match. I was thoroughly unimpressed.
Negative Nancy over here.
I know. I was grumping the entire match. I just didn't think we were good enough. We were giving away too many easy passes, turning the ball away too easy, not controlling the ball well at all. And I was just very underwhelmed by the performance, and I think that we need to be much better. I'll attribute it to us still growing as a squad, still getting used to various tactics, a lot of experimentation going on, but I was not happy, not at all. That's a game I think, even with the 52,000 MLS players in the squad, we should have won.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think it's a game that we technically should have at least got a draw out of, at least got a point on the road. A point on the road would have been decent at this point in the season. Disappointed not to at least get that, but facing a MLS side, the Seattle Juniors there, I think the team played fairly well. I don't have too many complaints. I would have rather not seen Villarreal in. Not a big fan of his myself. I complained to these guys about that during the game, but he also had a really decent game. He had probably the most completed passes. He also had a few chances, so maybe my criticism's a little bit harsh.
Yeah, you know, I'll be the voice of reason here. You have to take it with who we played. We didn't play the Tacoma team that everybody else had played so far. We played a team that ultimately, honestly, they probably had a little bit more talent than we had.
Yeah.
At least in certain
Individual
spots.
talent.
Yeah, exactly.
Team talent, maybe not.
And it was a road game, which, you know, yeah, it's not a tough place to play, but you're not at home either. So you got to take it for what it is. We weren't going to go undefeated this year. We were going to lose at some point. We're, 2-1-1 through our first 4. So, hey, you know, it sucks to lose. You never like to, but you got to think about it. in increments. I look at it from like a coaching perspective. Hey, we got 7 points through 4 games. I'll take that every single time. And now we have a home game coming up. So, disappointing to lose, but not the end of the world.
Yeah, I think, we held our own against an MLS side, pretty much. I think that, I counted like 8 chances that we missed. We had a couple good on-target shots that were saved, but other than those, we had 8 missed chances. So if we tighten that up, I think particularly like Aleman, I saw shades of last season where we just weren't quite on target. I think if we can clean that up, we still have great chances. I feel like this was kind of a one-off because of who we were playing and also because of the lineup that we saw.
Do you remember Aleman's awesome goal against Reno last year?
The curler into the side. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do remember.
Still have.
He's got it in him.
Yeah. Maybe he just needs a little bit more.
Maybe just
playing
need to be
time.
back in
on
gear.
injury.
But yeah, both him and Villarreal are coming off injuries,
Right.
as well as
It's hard to
Bija.
say.
Right.
Like it's easier when you've played minutes and you're getting regular time to come in and be at your peak right away. For the first 20, 30 minutes when you're a player and you haven't played very many minutes, you're kind of searching, trying to figure it out.
All right, well, let's talk about individual players, because the last thing I want to talk about on this match, and then we'll move on, is the man of the match for everybody. I personally picked Iwasa. He's our leader from the front. I think he creates chances. He's done well. I think he was a star in this game. He stood out again on top of most of the players. There was a few other good players, but for me, he was the man. We'll start with John, or Mark this time. John again. Mark. We'll start with Mark.
We're twins.
I actually thought Villarreal had a pretty good game.
Yeah.
My man of the match, yeah. But you know what, to be honest with you, I don't think really any one particular player stood out head and shoulders from you. The other games so far, it's been easier. You can narrow it down to 2 or 3 and be like, all right, well, he obviously had a good game. He obviously had a good game. But I don't think really anybody played particularly bad. I just think that, hey, it was a tough game. And
I think
Villarreal, I
thought he got taken way too many times down that fucking side. But,
he
whatever.
I liked his ability to win some interceptions.
Going
in the
forward
field.
was good.
So,
Backwards.
just his transitional play, I thought was pretty good for honestly playing guys that are probably a little bit better than him. So,
Villarreal.
Okay, I gave Iwasa man of the match, Mr. PK, but honorable mentions to Ray Sari and Mitch Tainter, because I think Sari in the middle is very solid. He's a fighter. He doesn't give anything up. And Tainter, I think, also was right on it this match.
he's been good.
Yeah. John?
So I've got a few things to say on this. So we're gonna have to do this as a 3-episode State of the Republic.
Settle in, get some popcorn. it's
Next week,
going to
John
be a
Cruiser
topic.
Part 2.
We're gonna start doing my own standalone here pretty soon. But no, so if we're gonna choose man of the match, I'm gonna choose Bija because once he came in, we completely turned the game around. We saw, it moved a lot better, passing was a lot better, stuff like that. Things I'd like to see a lot differently though. I did not like Horde up top. I don't think he's as good being forward. I like it when he's in the back defending. He can distribute the ball well with an occasional run up top and great crossing. Obviously, the missed chances. So I'm going to single out the players who were underwhelming for me. But
You went the opposite way.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I know.
Reverse man of the match.
Part 2 or part 3?
Skundrich, I think he needs to do better. Bonomo needs to do a lot better. And there was one other who I'm not remembering off the top of my head right now. But by and large, I think players needed to improve their game rather than player of the match.
Yeah.
And that's again, that's just
That
me.
kind of goes with Mark.
That I know Mark has a lot of positive. It just shows I have a higher expectation for the team than Mark does. I care a lot more
I said
than.
they were going to win the title.
Yeah.
No, I agreed on Bonomo as needs most improvement. I think that he's not up to his potential yet. I expect a lot more from him than what we're seeing. But the one thing he has been doing well is drawing fouls.
Yeah.
He seems to be the foul drawer of the team.
Well, that's being a physical player up top.
Yeah.
That's getting the ball and holding it up and making the guys make challenges on you.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, one thing about what you said, I actually really like Horde playing that right mid position just because he provides a lot of width and better, he provides a lot of pressure. He presses as well as anybody on the team, and we're at our best when we press teams really high. Yes, he's not a traditional winger. He's not going to give you what Bijev will on a 1v1 or something like that. But he can create turnovers. He's a stud defender, and he can whip in crosses for a guy like Iwasa and Bonomo to get on the end of it.
And you all know how much I like Hort.
Yeah.
I like he's one.
We know how much.
I'm Horde's Horde. But yeah, I mean I can see what you're saying, and I think he does it better from further down. And I think what he provides when he distributes it out is a lot more valuable. And I think, especially with how we're playing, getting it to Cam.
You just gotta believe in his creativity, man.
I agree with Mark. I think I like Horde up there. I like his ability to put the crosses in. Not to contradict you there, but I think he plays well in that position. But yeah, you also see it too. You picked Villarreal as man of the match, and I would say going backwards, he wasn't good enough. And so we all have our opinions of players, and they're all Republic players in the end. So I want them all to do well. I don't want to see any of them not playing well, and I want to support them all. So we as fans should all support them and not be as critical as we normally are. This was an MLS team we played, or at least a junior MLS team. The guys did well, so let's just give them the credit for that. Move on to Austin.
One piece of credit I do want to give. I gave Taintor a lot of flack last year, and I think he's looking really good this year.
Yes, he is. He's stepped up
Yeah.
very well. I wanted to add, we did man of the match, but I have two fans of the match that I wanted to add.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, number one fan of the match is right at the very top. Let's go Republic, whoever that was. They were very loud and clear on the stream. And then the Tacoma fan of the match was hilarious to me. Get a foot on it!
Oh, no. I heard the ESPN Plus is terrible.
That was the best comment. Oh, God.
Oh, and then the commentators stopped. Like, you could tell they were flustered. They were like,
What?
We do have the Legion.
so the ball's out of bounds now. And some guy knew that they were right behind him, and he just turned around and kept saying, ESPN Plus is terrible.
The Legion of the North is up there, so we do have at least some supporters up there. So they show up, and you could hear them on the stream. That's always awesome. ESPN does suck. Let's face it.
I like ESPN Plus a lot.
Yeah.
$5 I spent.
But
They called us New Mexico United at the end of the game. And the title
Oh,
card,
yes, that's right.
it was Tacoma Defiance 2, New
That's
Mexico
That's
United.
happened so many
That's on the
times this
USL
season.
though. That's on the
Yeah,
USL.
that is
though.
USL.
That's not ESPN.
I believe that's actually Tacoma's group.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah,
home
that's
team
probably
always has
Tacoma.
The home team in USL has the call.
I'll give you credit for that. Yeah.
Okay.
At
Yeah,
least we
Tacoma,
get
you
to,
suck.
the ESPN Plus. At least we get to see the games. It's not super expensive.
And I get to watch Norwich.
We get Championship. I watch the Dutch League. I can't pronounce it.
Eredivisie.
There you go, that one. So yeah, it's a cool service. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's just talk about the season as a whole. I personally think this has been a pretty good start, minus this Tacoma game. I think we've had a pretty good start to a season. We've seen Taintor step up. We've seen Skundrich come in. We've seen Sari come into the lineup. We've seen Warner come in. These are all new guys that have made positive, not Taintor, but the other guys are new guys that have made positive impacts to this team. What do you guys think of the season so far? We'll go with Jane on this one.
I'm pretty bullish on it so far. I think that we've got a lot of opportunities to do a lot more scoring from many different places than we did last season. I think that the areas we can improve are better communication, especially on the attack, people knowing where the other guys are going to be. But I'm excited about our chances, and I'm seeing more creativity, more interesting kind of goals than we have in the past, where it's in the past been a little over the top and over the top again and over the top again. So, yeah, I think we have good chances.
I'm bullish as well. Obviously I have my disappointments, but
Be positive, people.
I'm not the coach, and I know that the coach is a lot more talented than I will ever be.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to see more than I have, and I have a lot of faith in Elliot. I think he's done a really great job, especially last year. And I think now that he has his team, and I think he's still figuring it out exactly to a T.
Yeah.
But I'm very bullish. I think we won't lose our first round of the playoffs this year, like we do every other year.
Really knock on wood.
Knocking again.
Gotta leave these comments in.
But I'm bullish.
Scary stuff.
I'm bullish.
Well, I mean, it's fair enough. we're a team that expects a lot, so I can see where you guys are coming from on that. Like, we expect a high caliber from Sacramento at this point. When you win the championship your first season, you're like, okay, we need to start
spoiled.
winning. So yeah, Mark, what do you think?
A couple things. So first, I'll start off with the team. I think overall the depth looks like we're a lot deeper than we were last year, maybe a couple of years now.
100%.
You know, a guy like Alamon, we were relying on him to actually like be a big part of the team last year, and now when you look at him this year, it's like, well, if he can give us a boost, that's great. But if he kind of falls, you know, aside, gets pushed aside, and kind of the new players and stuff like that, you're like, we have other guys that we brought in. So I like how the team has been set up. We've seen them. You know, if you want to call it a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-4-2, regardless, the team has been playing higher up the field and creating more turnovers than the opponent has.
Absolutely.
And I like that style of soccer. Yes, we like to possess the ball, but I like that we go into games not worried about what the possession numbers are. It's about where you have the ball, not how much of the ball you have.
And what you do with it.
Exactly. So, and with guys like Owasa, with BJ, we have a team that can counterattack very quickly and very well. So, from that aspect, I like what I've seen so far. From another aspect, the other teams predicted to do well in the West have been terrible.
Seriously.
OC,
True.
Phoenix.
are both winless. I think both are actually winless at this point in the season. They're both near the bottom of the standings. Phoenix has 3 draws, to my knowledge. They might have gotten a win this last weekend, but regardless, those were it was Phoenix, OC, and us were kind of the odds-on favorites to win the West.
I think they were in everyone's top 5 at least.
Yes, and we're well above them so far. And I don't really, the teams above us, I don't know if they're for real. So I'm really excited.
Tulsa.
Tulsa on top right now, and they play like 3 of the worst teams. So I feel very confident in the West where we are in the conference at this moment in time. Last year we were chasing the whole season.
Yeah.
We were chasing OC, we were chasing Phoenix, we were chasing Monarchs, and we ended up getting third or fourth. But
No, we were
still,
second, weren't we?
At the end, we were second.
I don't
Yeah.
think we finished second. We finished third or fourth. We
All right.
finished third.
Yeah,
Second.
Jane's with me. We're second.
Second.
We've got 2 for second, so we're going with second.
I'm almost positive we finished behind OC.
Let me check.
But regardless,
We can bet later.
Regardless,
You can fact check us in the comments below. Put what you.
The point was we were chasing, and now we're right there. I mean, you know, you put a couple wins together, we're going to be in first place. I mean, that's just the fact of it. So we're doing well.
100%.
Old words.
I kind of have a take. It's a kind of a split between everybody. I'm kind of on the bullish end. I don't think we're doing as well as we could have. We're still not moving that great forward. We're still lacking in opportunities taken. You know, when you create 6 or 7 chances a game, you should at least have 3 goals a game. So when you don't come out with that, that's kind of.
Haven't been shut out.
We have not, no. But the one big thing that I want to point out, and Mark kind of touched on this, our mentality this year is so much stronger.
Yes.
We're coming out from minute 0, from the whistle, playing with full anticipation of a good game. Compared to last season, we weren't getting in the game until 30 minutes in, or goal down already. And then we left ourselves the second half to try to catch up and come back to get points. I don't think we're doing that to ourselves this season. And for me, that's a big shift, is that mentality to let's press, let's play forward, let's be on the attack. If we don't have the ball, let's still control it by playing that high press. And to me, that mentality is everything this season moving forward. So
Yeah,
to
I
me,
think
that's
there's
the big-
an element of grit that I'm seeing this season that wasn't there last
Sorry,
season.
brought some of that.
Yeah, I think Sari's got it.
Has some of it.
I think Warner, Tainter, I'm seeing that from him. And
Harris
Cam,
definitely is a
Awasa.
strong player.
Yeah.
Kynan, I mean, I think grit is a great word to describe the difference from last year. The new players that came in, I think, have brought some strength in that.
Yeah, so I mean, I think going forward, we're going to have a good season if we can just keep that mentality going, keep the tactics going. Like you said, the coach is kind of changing up, but we have that rotation.
You're
So
still upset about Monday, huh?
I'm a bit upset.
He's
So,
like talking to something. We're still gonna have a good season. Like,
I'm still upset about Monday.
so going ahead forward on Saturday, if I can get my
Yes.
days right in front of me, because I
let's
have
get the energy up. Home game Saturday, another tailgate.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't rain.
the club
It's
for
probably
me.
50-50 at this moment in time.
We got canopies. We're good.
Fine.
We'll make it
It
happen.
won't be like the first game where it was cold. And
Oh,
rainy.
yes.
That was brutal.
Yeah, I don't even remember that.
So we are wrapping towards the end of this video, but let's just give a quick thought on what's going to happen in Austin, and if we thought about it, maybe a quick score prediction from everybody. We'll start on Jane again.
All right.
She's our guest. We'll have her go first. Ladies first.
My quick thought on Austin is Diego Restrepo.
Yeah?
He's always tough.
He's
So
with San Antonio.
He's
he
overrated.
was with San Antonio. I think
Restrepo's
he's
overrated.
awfully good.
Overrated.
I think he could give us some trouble, so we need to be ready for it.
John could say Diego
And
Restrepo is overrated.
Austin Bold is my favorite kit in USL
It is a
Championship.
cool kid.
So
Even though
that's
they're a
my
font.
thoughts.
Even though they're a font.
Even
Yeah,
it's the
just
kit.
like Las Vegas.
The turquoise. I'm all about the
I
turquoise.
do like their colors, even though their sign looks like a bar sign, you know? Like, it looks like a neon, like, hey, stop in, we got $2 whiskey shots, well, whiskey shots.
Coors only on tap.
I don't have a prediction.
No,
You gotta
No.
throw out one.
throw
Oh
something out
hell.
there.
2-1.
2-1. All right.
Us.
Mark.
Republic, of course.
To the good guys.
To the good guys.
Yeah, so I think we'll win. You know, Austin, it's hard to see what kind of team they are because they are new.
And they're
They do have-
1-1-1, aren't they?
They are.
They do have some good players. They actually have some pretty good home support, which that was pretty cool to see
Yeah.
in their home opener. But I think we do come out with a win. I think we see. I was going to say 2-1, but you know what? Since we saw 4 last game, I'm gonna say 3-1.
3-1.
All right.
All right, keeping it saucy.
Very
Sean.
bold prediction.
Well, I gotta say, I think Mark checked my notes beforehand. I was gonna say
He was
3-1.
reading over your shoulder.
But since Mark said 3-1, I'm now gonna say 3-0.
Oh,
Getting even bolder.
Cohen's going to want to make up for Monday.
So, no,
could be 3-0.
because Cohen's gonna prove he's a better goalkeeper than Restrepo,
Okay.
and that
Which he
Restrepo is
is.
overrated.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Hot take.
All right. I like that. I like that
Who
thinking.
rated Restrepo so high?
You guys, apparently.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
No, Diego Restrepo, he's a good player. I don't think he's as good as everyone makes him out to be. And maybe that's because I'm a huge cynic, as you can tell.
Too much time on Reddit, dude.
I spend maybe like 10 minutes a day on Reddit. And I do it for the memes. But no, I think we're going to win that game. I think we will get at least 3 goals. I think we'll come back with a full-strength squad. And I think that, let's say, Cameron Iwasa, Bijev, and Bonamo all get a goal.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, I hope Bono
Remember
does.
last
That
year
would
when
be
I
good
made
for
my
Bonamo.
predictions? Do you guys remember last year when I made my predictions? I was right.
That would be good. I'd like to see.
Okay, John. we'll
And remember
see.
what I told you earlier today about Chelsea? What did I say about Chelsea?
You said that they were the greatest soccer team.
I said they were going to win by 3 goals, and Chelsea won by 3 goals.
All right, let's pull this back together. I think Austin has been decent at the start. They are 1-1-1. They've had a little rough turbulence, but they have put the ball in the back of the net. They are a pretty decent team as we've seen so far. They will end up in the mid-table if they continue this trend. So I'm going to go with the 2-1. I think we still get the win. We have the firepower, especially if we start connecting a little
Don't say
bit more.
2-0.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 2-1 now.
Way to call him out.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks for pointing out my notes. I'm going to go 2-1 just because I think Austin might actually get a goal on the breakaway on us. That is our biggest weakness, is getting caught on that high press. We did get caught against Seattle. We haven't got caught against OKC. It has happened. So maybe that is a 2-1. Mark, thank you. So yeah, I think it'll be a good game either way. At home, it'll be fun for us. It might rain, but we'll be there anyway supporting. I know you're going to have some family out.
Yeah, I'm
We'll
going to
be
bring
out
my
there.
5-year-old.
We'll
Wish
be
me
out
luck.
there
Right.
tailgating still in
We'll
the
make
rain.
a convert
so-
of him.
I'm a little disappointed that nobody, when we talked about the Tacoma game, that nobody mentioned that it was April Fool's. Like, haha, we're putting a new team out there.
Yeah.
That's true. I didn't think of that.
I was hoping
They got
that was
us.
the case, but
You know
I
you're
still
playing
don't.
Tacoma, surprise.
I don't think that the points count because we played an MLS squad.
Speaking
With a
of
USL player
April
called up.
Fools, we have to give credit to KP, Kelsey Price, for the best Republic April Fools joke ever. The Quails.
The Quails. I still.
Her Quails column.
Come on, you Quails. I still
I'm-
see
No,
that
and
all the time.
we're the Quails. We've adopted that. That's not an
Right.
April
It's
Fool's
a thing
joke. That
now.
is fact.
And I have to
It's a
say,
thing.
I'm disappointed we didn't have any April Fools
Yeah, come on,
column
Republic. Come on.
this year.
Our logo
We
even
expect
has a
better.
quail in it now, so
Yeah.
yeah. All right, so we're going to wrap this up. Let's go ahead and get our final thoughts. This is going to be your last take on whatever you have to say for this video. So we'll start with John.
John.
John, on my right this
Here,
time.
I'll pretend to be Mark. Because I'm talking about tactics. I think we would be really strong if we played a 4-4-3, or excuse me, a 4-3-3.
I was going to say, we'd be really strong with an extra player on the field.
A 4-3-3 with Awasa, Bonomo, and Blackwood all up top. Blackwood and Bonomo higher, Awasa a little bit lower, and then I haven't figured out the other 4-4s yet. I'd really like to see us do that, but you know.
Wrong.
He's wrong. That's not what I would have said at all.
You know what? Who plays Football Manager, Mark?
Jane,
I do.
Jane, your final take.
Okay, my one final take, the only thing I haven't gotten to say is my man Shannon Gomez took a shot on goal. So
Yeah, Gomez.
yes.
All right,
That's it.
Mark. All right, Mark. Give us your hot take for the evening.
My hot take? I really don't have one.
No?
I'll just reiterate kind of what I said before. It's been a great start to the season. But you know what? We got to win our home games. In a team like Austin, you got to get 3 points. So I will be disappointed if we don't come out with 3 points, even if we get a draw. This is a team that, again, they're a new team. So yeah, we have new players on our team, but they are a completely new team. So we should get 3 points. I'm excited to tailgate. I hope everybody joins us because it's always fun.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We'll
For
make sure
sure.
John has less fun than he did the first time.
We're not going to talk about that.
Oh, I haven't heard about this.
Yeah. So my hot take is John will have less fun.
All right, guys. For me, you know, we're in the USL. Stuff like that happened with Tacoma is gonna happen. Those are just what happens in the USL. Unfortunately, you get these kind of loans. You get these bad fields. You get baseball fields as soccer pitches. It's USL. It happens. So my final take is, look, we're in the USL. If we become MLS, great. We can expect a little bit more. But for now, it's USL. We'll take what comes. I appreciate everyone watching this video. Thanks to Jane for coming out, our
Thank you,
special
Jane.
guest.
you
John's
guys
back
for having
out.
me.
Mark's back out. We appreciate them. I'm Casey as always. You can check out the Old Glory Red Report over on the Facebook at Old Glory Red Report, Instagram and Twitter at Old Glory Red, YouTube, Old Glory Red Report as well. Just Google Old Glory Red Report. It'll come up, I promise. We are part of the Beautiful Game Network, so these are podcasts now over at the Beautiful Game Network. It's a great network of podcasts, including like Reno, Fresno, St. Louis. So there's a lot of podcasts to listen to there. The USL show, they took a take on today's Tacoma situation. So listen to all those. We do appreciate your guys' viewership. And until next time, thanks for watching.